not supposed to be easy. Every round gets tougher. Penetrate hard. Good passes. Shoot with confidence. I want some nasty.
Yep, his playoff catchphrase, just one of the 40 reasons to love the San Antonio Spurs. It's the cover story in this month's San Antonio magazine, and the author joins me in studio. Quite honestly, he's an old friend of Sports Sunday. He is the one and only Chris Duel, longtime radio talk show host, media personality. 40 reasons to love the Spurs. Why the magazine? Why now?
Well, it's the October issue. We're almost into October. The Spurs will be playing at the end of October, and certainly training camp and preseason before that. And I can't believe, I just realized, and they realized at San Antonio Magazine, 40th season in San Antonio, and I was there going to games season 1, so I realize how old I am now.
I loved looking through this and finding out all the things, and I don't want to give away the 40 reasons. You're going to have to go and get the magazine and see for yourself, and you'll enjoy it. But one of them, I think there's two popisms and the mood swings, and in case you don't know what we're talking about, here's a little taste of that.
I don't know what else to tell you. It's not like we're playing the Sisters of the Poor.
Shoot with confidence. I want some nasty.
I said that? In the heat of the game, you know, stuff comes out of my mouth, and sometimes it's embarrassing. So I talk to them about, you know, they've got to get a little bit ugly or get a little nasty.
You know, we could go through and we could probably run 25 minutes of tape on popisms. Reason to love the Spurs?
I think so.
The mood swings caught me off guard, but I thought it was genius by you.
But thank you. But and you and Don know this as sports reporters better than anyone else. I mean, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I don't think anybody in this town who's asked him a question hasn't either had their head bitten off or shocked in a what would seem like a negative moment. He'll come in laughing. You never know what he's going to do.
Badge of honor, any new reporter to town, you just tell him, I can't wait until you ask Greg Popovich a question that maybe you shouldn't have asked.
Yes.
All right, you're a historian. You said you've been here since day one. You absolutely love this team. I don't know if you ranked these, but I know for you, maybe the reason for you is the tie into the ABA.
The ABA was so cool, and for those of us who were there, we remember. If you didn't, learn more about it. You see Rich Jones there with the big afro, George Gervin, the red, white, and blue ball, and that atmosphere in the Hemisphere Arena was just rocking. Pat Tallman, the arena voice at the time, the late Pat Tallman, called it the noisiest arena in pro basketball, and it was. It was wild. One of the 40 reasons, and you and I talked about it a little earlier, the baseline bums.
Oh, they're great.
They were there since day one, and back at the Hemisphere Arena, as you recall, they had great seats right over the opponents and the referee's locker room. So after a controversial game or at halftime, the opponents or the refs would have to walk right underneath the baseline bums, and there would be showers of Pearl beer regularly on the players and on the refs.
The bums will tell you now, to hit a player leaving, you'd have to have a really, really good arm. All right, we know about the Big Three. We know about the championships, the river parades, and those are all reasons to love the Spurs. Yeah. But there's a fan who pops up now and then at games. Take a look at this. His name, is this a real name, Spurs Jesus?
He goes by Spurs Jesus. We've interviewed him on the radio before. He doesn't like people to know his real name. And on one level, you might think, gosh, is this blasphemous? And it's really not. It's all in good fun. He's a fun guy, and the fans love him, and most people are not offended by him.
And Jesus has pretty good seats, from what I can tell.
I don't know how Jesus gets those seats, but JC is doing really, really well.
He's a good fan. All right, great rivalries over the years, the Rockets, the Jazz. But in the last 10 years, it's been the Lakers, it's been the Mavs, and going into the future, it will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. When we start up on November 1st, what's the game that you say, yes, that's the rivalry game, that's the game they have to win?
I think it'll always be Lakers, Mavericks, but opening night at the AT&T Center will be Oklahoma City, and they are Spurs North, with Sam Presti building that team in the Spurs image. You got to beat Oklahoma City, because look at what they did to you, winning the final 4 games in that playoff series.
Speaking of Oklahoma City and opening night, this will be an alternate look that the Spurs will wear at select games this year, including opening night. What do you like it?
What I do like, I'm old school. So ABA days, the predominant color was silver and not white. It was silver and black. So to me, this is a bit of a throwback to the original colors in the ABA. They're funky, but I kind of like them. People on Twitter and Spurs fans have gone nuts not liking them.
Does it bug you that it doesn't say San Antonio or it doesn't say Spurs, it's just the logo?
I think it's 2012, David, and I think the Spurs have ascended to such a level globally where people know that logo, so I'm cool with it.
Chris Duel, before I let you go, I know people would say, why didn't you ask him this question when you had him? Any return to local radio anytime soon?
I am a free agent. I will take calls, but I'm actually creating an internet talk platform with video, going to be called Talk Now San Antonio. But I'm open to anything.
Well, whatever you do, you will always be a success, and the magazine article is just one great example. Chris Duel, thanks for your time.
Love you, love Don Harris, love Sports Sunday.
Ready for Spurs season. Yeah. It all starts in a couple of weeks. Training camp, by the way, opens up next Monday.